We have another Age of Mythology casted game to watch of Retold, and it's going to be Matty in the blue color. He is playing as Aranos. I think Aranos is very, very strong. He's also had some buffs to the Atlantean citizens being able to gather a little bit more. So we'll see what Matty can do here with the Aranos. Then on this side, we have the nerfed queen herself, Amaterasu, chasing the sun. We'll be piloting her. And this is my first game watching Amaterasu after she's been nerfed. So we'll see what chasing the sun does. Now, for anyone that hasn't read the patch notes yet, Amaterasu's nerf was 0.5 gold per Bushido tier has been taken off. So actually she's starting with 0.5 instead of the 1 gold that she had before. Whether or not that means she needs to put something on a gold mine, I'm not actually sure. Haven't tested out that build yet, but we'll see what chasing the sun does. I think you had quite a lot of gold in the Archaic Age before, so much so that you could even drop walls down without having a villager on gold. So I think you'll be able to get there anyway. So it's nice that it doesn't really change up that build too much. The other thing which got hit was this solar shield is now 10 seconds instead of 15 seconds as it was before. So not the biggest nerfs in the world. It doesn't change anything about what her units do. So the samurais are still really strong. The Onimushas are still really strong. They still get that regen. They still get all that XP. But they kind of toned down some of the eco benefits that she gets, and obviously the potency of the solar blessing. I think the solar blessing was probably solar shield blessing was probably what made her so strong. Was players didn't really know what to do against it early on, and that's where her win rate came from, in my opinion. If you were to send one of the weasels in, normally what you could do against such a weak myth unit is just have your citizens turn around and shank them. And then what happened with the solar shield is you let it get to 1 HP, you solar shield it, all the citizens then have taken that damage and the thing's back up to full HP, and you're just going to die, basically. So I think it was just the unexpected effect of that. I think it's a good nerf to solar shield. I think there were other options to it. What you could have done is something like regen rate is lower, so it will give you the shield for the 15 seconds, but then when the 15 seconds is up, you're back to the HP you were. You're not at full HP, but we'll see how that one goes. Looks like the Kitsune. Just having a look about. I think the scouting for Japan is so good. We'll look at it compared to Atlanteans that are very strong in the scouting as well. I need to move over to him. Yeah, very good. I also like that the Mikos are scouting. I think the Mikos probably found a good relic. We'll have a look at some relics. Bridle of Pegasus, which makes your scouting even better because you get a nice free Pegasus on the go. So this one is temple gold and wood cost is less. So that's going to be nice for anyone that wants to spam up a temple. I don't think either really want to in this matchup, or at least these gods anyway. So actually, no, that's a lie. Aranos definitely could, getting to the heroic age for his very strong satyrs. Fortunately, I can't click on this relic because the oracle is sat in the way, but we'll see it as soon as he picks it up. Surprised they've not fixed that kind of hitbox, to be honest. But villagers are cheaper, always a nice one. And Dorm Calipers siege weapons are cheaper as well. And then Amine Uzume coming through. Amino Uzume, need to remember how to say that one, which is the Weasel girl. So Weasel's coming in. And then this side, no surprises, we see Oceanus. It's going to be the choice for the Aranos. And hello, morning to everybody in the chat. Appreciate it. Got some military barracks coming down from Matty. So he's going for his kind of standard opener, which you get with Aranos, which is you drop your double military barracks, you go through Oceanus, and then that means you're going to have your scary Mamillos. That does leave Chasing the Sun open to just drop the same thing, which is double dojo. But what he's deciding to do is go dojo guardhouse. So maybe that's a good option as well. Guardhouse does house the archers in it, so you could get some Yumi archers out. Looks like he's going for a bushy hero right off the bat to deal with the Caladria, which is a nice choice. And the Kamotachi is in. Probably Aranos, one of the better civilizations for dealing with this guy, because he's pretty single target apart from his big AoE. But the AoE doesn't do too much against citizens because they're so tanky. Like forced out a shockwave to keep that oracle alive. So Chasing the Sun, getting some big value from this weasel. But yes, also the Caladria can heal the single target that's getting attacked after that AoE special. So I just feel like it's a pretty good matchup. Maybe an even better matchup against this would be the Gaia that can also get the regen on the grass and the kind of healing up of the villagers wherever it is. Where's Meh? He doesn't have an economic guild, does he? No. If you're Gaia, you can get a cheaper version of your survival equipment tech, so a little bit tankier too. But Arano's very, very strong. And we're seeing the Mamillo coming out. Just coming to kind of have a look. The Mamillo are much faster than the Samurai though. So even though the Samurai do kind of counter them with their 1.5x multiplier and just being very strong in general, the Mamillos can kind of dance around them if they want to. It does have that Empyrean speed tech, so they are at their max speed unless they become heroes. Which I believe that speeds them up. I could actually be wrong there. Maybe I've just seen it when they've got a relic. Double Caladria as well. Yes, he is at 5.3 speed. The Bushies. Trying to get some good damage done, but we said Caladria's OP. We all know it. And the Bushies just keep coming. So the army comp from the Amaterasu player is majority going for archers here. Also, I'm actually surprised to see so many Bushies. Maybe he's trying to one-shot these Caladria. Looks like that is what he was trying to go for, but Matty is on it with that micro. Also taking out the dojo pretty well. No villagers coming over to repair this one. Maybe that food villager is going to. No, he just got a bit confused, or she got a bit confused with that water mill. That's unfortunate. Actually, there was actually two. They were just hiding, or they came very, very late. So nice bit of value from Matty early on, just sniping down something for free. Miko's going to come around. I think she can't get through there, so going to take down a Miko. Could use the solar shield, but I mean, she's basically stuck in the corner. And then the Weasel. The Weasel going down isn't that big of a deal, and it actually uses the solar shield. I really like Matty's position so far. Unfortunately, does lose the Mamillo, but forces out the solar shield on a Weasel that's going to die and come back to life anyway. He does decide to turn and fight. Probably don't want to do that one. We do say in the chat that Bushies are almost as strong as Yumi archers. But they're quite expensive though, right? I mean, maybe they're only slightly more. But the issue is that they don't have the multiplier versus infantry that the normal archers do. So they have the, I mean, it's only 1.25 times. So maybe the Bushies are just the right call. And you're going to be able to deal with the Caladria also. So Chasing the Sun might be onto something here. Now Matty's being a bit cheeky with his citizen. Sky Passage going up to where Chasing the Sun's stuff is, stealing that gold mine away, stealing some baboons potentially as well. Now a raid coming in. No wall up to protect that one, but there was a tower here which was very easy to garrison in. Unfortunately, the shrine is already occupied by a Miko, so it wasn't a chance to get that villager in there. Could have potentially done some micro, get the Miko out, get the villager back in, but a little bit too tricky while Matty was in there. So it does get another snipe, which is very nice. Now both sides getting a decent army together, so it looks like Chasing the Sun's got a slightly bigger army in just in terms of population. But I mean, it's very, very close so far. Fortunately, one of the Mamillos getting a little bit stuck. Should be able to heal that guy back up, but actually the Bushies sniping them down. So maybe a slight overstep. Just losing one unit isn't the biggest deal. Looks like Matty does see that one. Just needs to back up. He's really trying to snipe this Weasel. And I guess something we haven't really mentioned yet is the Bushido didn't get touched in terms of how quickly you actually get this guy up. You can just see it zooming up with that XP number there. So in 4,800 XP's time, which will be probably just a few minutes if there's more fighting, then Chasing the Sun will be at the next tier up, which will be Heavy Samurais, which is going to be absolutely brutal. Which means that the Mamillos need to get to the heroic age, and they need to spend extra on getting heavy infantry in, whereas Chasing the Sun can just sit in this classical age and be absolutely fine. So, where Aranos does normally enjoy the kind of fighting, maybe it's best to not in this situation, but maybe you do have to play to your advantages as well. That's better micro on the Caladrias. Oh, I was going to say nice bit to heal him up, but unfortunately not the micro to deal with the Bushies. This is why the 7 Bushies are there, because if they all get a shot off and the Caladria isn't ready, then it's just going to go down instantly. I do like the Kyro Ballast to add, though. Matty has probably one of the best micros in the game, so it's a good idea to add these. The issue is they go down so quick. Is he turning them into heroes? They're looking like they're getting a bit lost. Yes, that's turning into heroes. They just drop their weapons and go down. Chasing the Sun's found this, but isn't going to get too much value. Is potentially going to take a mana down. And while this is going on, Matty sees that the army is there, so potentially could get some good kills. Does lose a hero Mamillo, though. You don't want to see that one, whether or not that was Chasing the Sun with his manual TC targeting, or whether that was just, unfortunately, got a bit out of hand. Is trying to take that dojo down. I mean, these guys just absolutely shred, don't they? And the Camo Tachi coming in. But the hero Karabalisa should deal with those so quick. And looks like Matty wants to take this fight. Does have the Carnivoro, which is very good at taking down a samurai, but Chasing the Sun immediately on it. Don't think he lost any units there, or even any HP. Decides to put the Solar Shield on the Naginata Rider there, just going straight for the Karabalista. Means that for the next 10 seconds, you can try and take one of those down, but unfortunately doesn't. And the Karabalista getting so much value. But in come 4 heavy Naginata Riders now. We've got to that next stage of the Bushido. And this is the bit of Amaterasu that I thought would probably get nerfed, but apparently it hasn't. Because it's going to be so brutal now for Matty to fight back into this. Loses one hero, Karabalista. His micro is on point, though. He's really trying to take down those samurais with those shots. But unfortunately, they're a little bit far away, so won't get hit by all 3 of the arrows. And I think Chasing the Sun should win this fight very handily. Does take the Karabalista down.
Thank you, my friend.
And the Mamillo, thank you for the sub, Darth Grogu. Thank you very much. Appreciate that one. And Matty, I mean, he does come back with the majority of his units, so not the end of the world, but he lost a significant amount. Definitely in Amaterasu's favor now. So what depends on what he wants to do. I mean, a lot of times in this situation, if you're any other Civ, what happens is you then go to you just go to the next stage, right? But what does going to the next stage really give Chasing the Sun? It does give him access to Raijus through Raijin, so that could possibly be an option. But apart from that, I mean, he can't get heavy units because he's already got them. He could get the next line of armory upgrades if he wants, but he hasn't got those anyway. So I just think staying in this age and just getting mass units is probably going to be the play. And it looks like that's what he is deciding to do, also dropping his dojo and stable. That is a very good point. The Karabalista could have had a garrison point with the Sky Passages. Yeah, bringing them forward isn't ideal because they are so slow. I guess Matty just didn't see the horses. I guess that's the idea. And this is what I meant earlier about the benefit of these Aranos Mamillo is they are fast enough to just completely kite the samurai. But if they get caught out, they should lose that fight. Being a little bit cheeky with a couple of raiding parties, does manage to snipe one villager while running back, and this is what the best players do very nicely. Unfortunately, is staying is welcome a little bit too much. Overstaying is welcome, some would say. That's a better way of saying it, I tell you. And I guess the issue with these Naginata Riders is if there's no Karabalista around, they're not the one, basically. They're going to go down or lose in a trade to the Mamillo. The Mamillo don't have bonus damage versus them, so it isn't as bad as if it was like pure hoplites or something similar to that. You see how quickly the samurai just takes this down. If they all have their special up, then they just carve it up. Maybe you need to wait for their special to be finished and then use it. I think whether Matty's going to get that one or not. But actually, it does mean that the samurai can somewhat catch up, but Matty's going to be losing a couple more units here, I reckon. Yeah, absolutely brutal. Again, could have some kind of Sky Passage thing. It is a little bit awkward, but it's definitely something that Aranos can do. I guess he's dropped all 3 now, but you could just get rid of that one, put one straight in the middle of the map. Chasing the Sun has decided that even though he's winning these fights, he wants to sit inside his base because he doesn't like these Mamillo raids. So he has built some farms, which normally the player that's quote-unquote winning doesn't normally do that. Whereas Matty can just be out wherever he wants, as long as he's got a sky passage next to him, because he can jump home at any moment. So Matty maybe not as far behind as you would think, just because of all these farms. He's got 15 farms, whereas here we've got, if we move over to Matty's perspective, he's got the equivalent of, okay, there's only 6 now, but 6 on food that are outside the base. What's Chasing the Sun's gold sort of situation? He's got 400 gold left in the bank. 1 villager going down again. But weasel value still pretty high. Is there a wall up this side? No, Chasing the Sun has just decided to not spend the resources kind of walling up. He is finding these sky pastures though, and these guys were a little bit out of place. Maybe they were a little bit far. Trying to do some cheeky mana micro, but it is harder than it looks. You only fit 2 inside this thing, so you kind of need to press your eject at the right time, otherwise they get confused. It's a nice find from Chasing the Sun. Still chasing these Murmillos around. All the Caraballister are sat in the middle. We did see a heroic age coming through. Chaos for Matty. Does decide to just do the 1 temple. Maybe he didn't grab that relic earlier, but he can get these hero upgrades if that's what he decides to go for. Getting the hero upgrade for your oracles to make them all heroes, basically just get more favor in, make them more survivable. And Chasing the Sun is all over the map here. Does decide to go to this side gold mine, which was right next to a Matty sky passage, and is securing this one pretty nicely with his just overwhelming military presence. What other things is he getting? So he's going through Raijin now. I think that is a good call. You don't want to get sat in this classical age too long, but there was no need to go early, like we said. So Raijin, there'll be some Raijus, and then that's when you can get some really good value from this Goshen Boku tree. And actually, if you take Soup's advice, you just delete your weasels, get a second Raiju out, and then you basically just have 2 Raijus that keep spawning over and over again, and just gives massive value, to be honest. The Contarius coming through to deal with some of these fast units, or maybe potentially get around the back on those bushies. They're still just the same bushies from earlier. I don't think they really got touched. So how many of these are there? Yeah, it's just the initial kind of 6 that got built. And these raids from Matty are just relentless, but he is getting a little bit caught out. Still doesn't have that forward sky passage. There is a sky passage over this side, but maybe we'd just like to see one just right in the middle of this map. I've caught up with the heavy units though, but I mean, we're 3,000 XP away from champion, so I believe if there's a huge fight here, it should be champion. Looks like Matty wants to take it anyway. Samurai hitting themselves with this chaos, and that does force out the drums. And the drums, they do some good damage. They also let your horses just go straight onto those Carabalisters, because all of this front line is just getting caught up. Can probably turn and burn these, potentially. There isn't that many of them, but then they are champion Naginata riders, champion samurai, and this is going to be hard for Matty to deal with. Did he end up getting any armor upgrades? He did get the 2 that he needs. No pierce armor, but I mean, there's not that many Caraballister in. And now all these guys just regen also. So I believe one of the kind of main Japanese changes is, so obviously there was an Amaterasu nerf, but the other 2, Tsukiyomi and Susano, actually get their XP faster now. So whether or not it's going to be similar to how quickly Amaterasu gets it, but I feel like, I don't know, 18-minute champion is quite quick. But I mean, that is also on what Matty's done. He has been trying to push, trying to pressure, and that is kind of his normal game plan. It's what he excels at. So maybe needs to switch up his game plan a little bit playing against Japan. But he can just do the same thing that he has been doing here, get some fast units and put some pressure on somewhere else. I mean, he does know about that gold mine down here. Whether or not Chasing the Sun knows where the other gold mines are. And yes, he does know where Matty's getting gold from, but it's very difficult to deal with. Some walls coming up now, but unfortunately that one is going to get caught out, and the heavy Contarius will do a lot of damage. But the Raiju's in, and there's no hero Contarius here, so not ideal. Unfortunately, literally just a few seconds late with these walls. When they're not finished, any units just take them down so quick. Chasing the Sun could potentially catch these out if he's got some units. He has got some units coming down here. The Samurai Ball he can hit spread formation here. If he hits D, is for me, then you can just kind of stop them coming. But Matty he is on it, but the CC from that Raiju, looks like there is a little bit of a raid coming off over here, though, with the remaining Kantarius, but a nice shrine block. There were no villagers here, but there is a Miko. She can build shrines, she can build temples, so you can get some building blocks with them. Unfortunately, this wall didn't go up because they were getting attacked from another nice raid from Matty. Is all over chasing the sun here. Trying to get out. I think this is like a tiny little gap that units think they can get through, but can't. And there's a second town center dropped about a minute or so ago from chasing the sun. So wanting to sit in this heroic age. And yeah, even when they're such low HP, heavy units, you don't really want to turn and burn them with the villagers, especially without their upgrade, because they just go down so quick. And forward castle coming down. There's no castles this side. Yes, there is. There is a palace up this top side. So Matty's securing it pretty nicely. Could even put a wall over here if he wants to, but probably it's not really the Arano style, dropping walls everywhere. It's more just sky pastures, and also finds this little raid here. There's a really nice escape wall for chasing the sun, though, that you can just run straight through and do something else. There's a bit of a chaos, and they all use their special on each other too. Even the Carnivora there, but we said the Carnivora just seems to go down pretty quickly. Maybe it's not even worth using that 25 favor. But even with that chaos, it looks like chasing the sun's doing pretty well during this fight, and it is going to force Matty back. It's just that champion. It's absolutely brutal. And, of course, the Raijus with no heroes for the side of the Aranos. Does he have his hero upgrade to get them cheaper? No. It's kind of surprising to see an Aranos not go mass hero units. It's kind of become a staple with a lot of Aranos games that I have watched. But I guess that's because he wants to go through Helios, wants to do something different instead. So he's going to have the Vortex, the Center Manus, get some big building raids off instead of just villager raids. Just be very, very annoying. These are going to get caught out by that castle. And a couple of myth units also going to go down. And this is kind of what we were saying earlier about this tree. If 2 units die, then they get sent to the tree. But then if a 3rd unit dies, so if he was to kill the Itachi first, then the Raiju would actually get lost. So that's just unfortunate there from Matty to not really think about that one. Second town center coming up. It's been ahead on the villagers for pretty much the entirety of this game, thanks to his big raids. But it is getting caught out here. Sky Passage could go down from chasing the sun, but there's so many villagers just to put it straight back up. It's like a lot of units are just kind of in the middle of nowhere for Matty, and he's kind of getting hit on going through this Helios. He's got 1 minute left on it, so just doesn't really have the stuff out. He's going to get a good trade here, though, where Chasing the Sun's units are all going straight for the main base, but he is going for the main base where he is going through Helios, and that is going to be rough if that one gets stopped. This town center up here wasn't actually built when he decided to go up to the next stage, so only really had the choice to go in this one, and I think Helios is going to get stopped 1 minute and 30 through. If this was the first patch of Retold, he would have got that one, but it's been nerfed to 2 minutes, and Matty going to lose a kind of power spike there that he may have well got with his Vortex, getting some big raids off, but it won't have access to that now. He is going and getting a late version in this town center, so there is a bit of a samurai action coming through, and I think the villagers should go down pretty quick to it, but Matty also getting some good raids off. He isn't down and out, it's set him back considerably. Because also, I mean, that was 1 minute 30 that he wasn't building villagers either, you know, it was just the town center not working. I think there's enough palaces to kind of deal with these. They do have 24% pierce armor. That's not very much, so, I mean, should go down. Just needs to be on it with the micro to get inside the Sky Passage, get inside the palace, and they're just kind of being a nuisance, these samurai, more than anything. Trying to get the settlement back up, but nice placement by Chasing the Sun. Also getting his Hanya Mask upgrade, which is the lifesteal for the Raiju. Oh no, for the Raiju. Lifesteal for the infantry, sorry. There was also a Raiju sat in the queue. And it's an absolutely huge samurai upgrade. If you think they're good enough now, it's also halfway to super duper champion, right? No, that'll be yes. So he's halfway to, I can't remember what they call it. Is it elite or is it something else? Basically, a stage above champion. But Matty, he is trying to get to the next stage. Very, very close this time. Going in this back town center. So we'll be able to get champion units himself, but it's kind of been pushed off everywhere. Been pushed off. Doesn't really have much food. Yes, he's been pushed off these farms because of the settlements going up. He only really had access to gold that entire time just because he was just moving between the sky pastures. Now he can sort out his eco, go on his wood, get enough to build a town center. Get his farms back in. Center Manus also in. No heroes out for chasing the sun. And we're going to see a mythic age for him as well. Which I believe is the old God Power swipe with the huge sword, which has been buffed by half a second. So it should be able to hit units a little bit more consistently. Before it was pretty slow. Oh, Grand Master units. Yeah, I think that might be right. And then this is also what I like from basically from any Civ. Whenever you're going up to the next stage, you really need to think about, do I need more units collecting favor? So for the Japanese, just literally just spam the Mikos out. Just hit your town center and just hit your Miko button and just kind of swap between them. Get a decent amount out before going to the next stage. If you're any other Civ, just whack another monument up, get another villager praying, that sort of thing. And Matty, he's still trying to push his raiding presence. Now he's going to force chasing the sun back into his base, kind of keeping his units all together. No, does have some raiding up here. No little cheeky walls here. Kind of surprised to not see just a little, unless that's blocking it. No, I think a unit can actually run past that one. So yeah, the champion Naginata Riders getting some big raid value. I think Matty is trying to push off this gold mine, but I mean, there's gold mine here with 3,000 left in it, so chasing the sun should be absolutely fine. Fortunately, Citizen is going to get a little bit caught out here. And yes, we do have, what's it called? Divine Slash. Divine Slash coming in, and it is much quicker. Oof. You can't really dodge that, I guess, with the slower units. Potentially you can dodge it with some fast units, but there's no formation to kind of split. So if this was AoE 2, there's an extra formation where you can just hit it and your units split in half. Maybe we need that one. So you can counter the Divine Slash, the gigantic katana. And now definitely you want to delete this Kama Itachi, because the Azura, he's a big lad, and he is extremely strong. Like, Chaos is getting dropped down. Oh, it was literally dropped down where I was watching. And they are going to slice each other up for a little bit, but unfortunately not going down to each other as much as I thought they did, to be honest. I thought they would counter each other pretty well. And the Azura has 30 crush per hit, just going straight for the TC. Well, I'll leave him to it while Matty's running back on this side. Yeah, you can also cancel the Weasel. You don't have to delete him. It's just, if you were to have 2 Weasels there, and if you don't cancel them in time, and then something better dies, then you're losing out. And the Azura is going to be able to take... No, he is potentially going to go down if these samurais don't help out. You want to go for that town center. You don't want to lose this guy. Matty just kind of forced back. Really needs to be in that defensive zone. It's going to get another Carnivora in. It's a better Carnivora just because there's not as many units around it, but still, if you just target that one down... I've never seen Carnivora get so little value from so many uses also. I guess that was just a last-ditch effort, so well played to chasing the sun. I think Amaterasu she's still good. And it's really down to that XP, to be honest. The Bushido.